Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from whenever you're listening in from, calling in from. Hope we had a fantastic weekend. So, we had a good week last week. I think I got a message just now. Let me just see. What's the message? Okay, yeah. I had an amazing week. Although we started out slow, some of the pairs are just ranging, so we're just in consolidation. I was really looking forward to a very fruitful, peaceful week, but we kind of slowed down. I think when it was started seeing some movements around Thursday and Friday, but it's really good because it just really means that the market is really setting up for a higher move, much bigger moves for us. So as a culture, we would start with looking at the news releases. What do we have for this week? In fact, I think this week is going to be a good week because we have FM, I say FOMC news coming out. Let me just share my screen now. Okay, so we have the FOMC news coming up. I think that's on Wednesday or thereabout. Let me see now. Where is it? Yeah, it's on Wednesday. So that means that the USD is really gonna have some good movements. But then if I were you, I wouldn't be trading on Wednesday. I just probably set up my trade the day before, or probably set up my trade the day after, so I can take advantage of the outcome. So not to jump in on the volatility and then get kicked out or something. But as you can see, if you look at the news, there are not many news releases this week. Good thing we have one on this Sunday now, and that's AUD. And you remember some of us are in Euro AUD and GBP AUD. So I like to see what would happen, to those pairs. I think it's been running for more than a week or two now. So, and good thing my swap is positive. So that's really good for me. So we don't have many news releases for this week. Also, if you look at your investing.com pretty much says a few different things than what Forex Factory is saying. Like on Monday, I think, is it on Monday? It says we have a GBP news, but on here we don't have that news on Monday, GBP news on Monday. So that's something for you to look out for as you're trading. So go straight to our dollar. You can see, look at those levels that we were looking at. Finally, dollar broke out of it, and now it's pulling back. It may not come back to retest it. Remember, it's an inverse head and shoulder. It may not really come back to do a full retest before jumping back up, because, yeah, it may do that. It may not do that, but again, would only trade based on confirmation. But it's beautiful to see that inverse head and shoulder that we're expecting actually played out. Although we thought it was going to come as low as this other shoulder before jumping up. But hold on, please. Let me just get people to stop making noise. Sorry about that. I have visitors at home. So, okay, so we're expecting this to come all the way down here to that 9100, but then the market is going to do what it's going to do. So it jumped up, broke our neckline, and then it's trying to retest. Now, I'm really looking forward to trading Euro USD. So if you're here, just be on the lookout. This is one of those pairs I'll really be looking forward to trading because of the movement of this dollar as well. I'm really expecting it to go all the way to this level based on this measurement that I did. So I'm currently in EANG, so I'm really looking forward to adding this one into it because it would give good pips. Let me just go straight to what we have today. Let's make this wider. So as you can see, dollar is already in place, mapped out. It broke out of that zone that we were expecting it to break out. That's the zone inverse to sorry, the euro dollar inverse to the dollar. So it broke out of that, gave that giant candle. Now it's probably going back to retest that, that level, just like we see in the dollar. So expecting this to come all the way back to retest this. It may continue going up all the way to this level before continuing to the downside. So we are expecting this to go all the way down here. That's how many pips in total. Let me see. It's about 1,000 plus pips. It may get all the way down to this 1.035 or 34, 35. Yeah, I may get there, but it doesn't really matter. We may be jumping in and out as we see the opportunities to do that. So be on the lookout for euro dollar. I'm really looking forward to trading this pair. Remember, head and shoulder broke out of that neckline. You know the rule for head and shoulder. We're gonna draw this. We have that. And then that move, and what we expect for price to do is to break out of that neck and then retest that neck and then drop back to the zone based on what we measure, based on what this level would be, which is the top of this level to this level. So that will be the measurements of that neck, man. Yep, that will be the measurements. So that's your TP, the difference between this level and this level, the distance between this level and this level. So measure it from here down here. So right now we can see the breakout happening. Yep. So now this is what we're expecting to happen, this retest. We're expecting this retest to occur. So when that happens, I'll probably put the sell limit somewhere here. I'll put one sell limit here at this last candle here will be my low, and then probably put another one somewhere here, close to this last candle here, just to take advantage of this. But then I would enter with low volumes, so I don't over leverage myself. So be on the lookout for Euro USD. It's a good pair to be on the lookout for. Yep. NUD, NZD USD, another one. As you can see, it broke out of that range. It's been in that it's been here for like forever, and it broke out of it, and now we expected that retest. It happened, but then it ranged so long before eventually breaking out of that, and now we expect this to go back and retest that. You see, almost like the same thing was seen here. So wanted to go back and retest that range. Remember how it is for ranges when price break out of ranges. We always expect price to go back to retest it. Retest it then before going down, continuing to the downside. Now for you to trade it, what will be your TP? Normally you would say it's the difference between this and this as well. That would be the TP, but sometimes it could go lower than that. Like this now, our TP would be, let me see, from here to here. This would be our TP, but it could go lower than that, to be honest, really. But probably your first TP1 would be that, so be on the lookout for NZD USD. In fact, if I wouldn't really be bothered trading NZD USD, because it's pretty much the same thing with Euro USD. So I'm just going to take one of it. So Euro USD will be my lookout, but just for some people that love to trade this one, but you know that NZD pairs are quite slow. So that's something you want to put into consideration. GBP, GPY, it's another good pair. Remember, we traded this down move to this side. Right now on the higher time frame, this is what we're looking at. This is what it is. It broke out of that trend line. So it may actually go back to retest it, but it's probably already gone a long way, So now I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulder forming. It may form. There's no rule that says that we can't dream or we can't expect that to happen. So if that happens, this is what I'm expecting to happen in this market. Expecting, because it's already done that, done the left shoulder, done the head. Yep. So I'm expecting this left shoulder, right shoulder to complete, and then it will go back to the top, and then it will complete our retest that we're expecting to happen, retest of that trend line that it broke out of. And you know the rule for trend lines, when price comes in, keeps doing this, keeps doing that. It's a simple rule as well. Eventually price is going to do that, and then break out. And when it breaks out, normally we expect this to happen, retest of that level, and then go down. And normally where we expect to take profit is at the next zone that we have identified in the trade. So that's something to be on the lookout for. And then we can see that happen here. Price broke out, retest. So it broke out of that trend line. So now what are we expecting? We're expecting a retest of that trend line. So I'm of the opinion that this might actually be that retest that we're waiting for, which may be in form of creating an inverse head and shoulder. We tried to look at this Elliott wave last week with Deidre. So it did that 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 1 to 2, then 3, 4, 5, then the correction happening now. So I'm expecting an inverse a second leg, second shoulder to fill in. When that finishes, then we expect that move to the upside. That's probably going to be how many pips? 400 plus pips. So if you're going to trade this, just know that that might be a holiday for you. If you can catch that, it's almost 500 pips. So what I mean right now is this guy right here was a good one, head and shoulder. And apart from the head and shoulder, remember what I talked about when we were here, that this thing here. So we can see that happen here too. Tested and broke out of it, then retested. So now it's coming down. So right now we're expecting it to keep coming down. And also we have a head and shoulder forming here. That's the left shoulder, that's the head, that's the left shoulder, that's the head, and that's the right shoulder forming. So I can already see rejection happening here. So that's on the weekly time frame. So we expect this to come down, keep coming down, to come all the way down here. And you remember the rule for head and shoulder that I showed us earlier. Where did I do that in? See here, yeah, this one. So head and shoulder needs to break, retest, and then come down. So this is what I'm expecting to happen here. Eventually this is going to break out, this is going to come down, and then break out of it, and then do a retest of that level, and then keep coming down. And then this is the level we measured based on that measurement, difference between the distance between here, the head, top of the head to the neckline. That's this level that I measured. So we expect that to happen. Now, I think I entered somewhere around here. So I wouldn't really be concerned about whatever happens here, because I probably have my stop loss here. But if it comes above this, then I know that this is not a trade for me to be in anymore. Yep. So whatever happens down here, even if it comes all the way down here, and then keeps coming back, I may not really be bothered, until probably if it breaks above. I could take part profit and let some profit in, but I won't really be concerned about, price pulling back because I entered way at the top here. Unless it comes in and kicks me out of the trade, then it comes in very close to my stop loss, and I know that's I need to jump ship. But for now, all of the pullbacks that are happening here, I'm not really concerned about them, because if you drop down to your smaller time frames, you keep seeing these things, comes down, goes up, jumps, scares a lot of people out of the trade, So for now, I don't have any reason to jump in and out of the trade. Just let it run, do its thing. So it went all the way to this place and came back down. So it's just been bouncing up this level. So if it breaks up below this level, I may take another position. If it breaks below this level, wait for a retest of that level, because that's where it's been bouncing off. Wait for a retest of that level and then keep selling to the downside. Then you know what that means? It means I'm probably going to TP somewhere close by and have my stop loss somewhere around here for a higher risk to reward. Okay, that's Euro, AUD, GBP, USD. Now for this one as well, we're expecting same thing happening to the euro. Remember, the dollar controls most of this pairs. So right now we are waiting for that retest as well to happen. I just pumps that up. So that retest is probably going to go all the way back up, like we are noticing for this guy and for this guy. So probably that's what this is trying to do as well, trying to create that retest back to the point where it broke out of, maybe even if it's to the top side before continuing down. And that's really dependent on what the pound is doing. Pound is also a strong currency. If the pound decides to stay strong, then it means we're just going to keep seeing this going back to the upside. But if you look at it on the higher time frame, let me see, it broke this level. That level, let me see that level. This is the key level. So it broke it. So because it broke it, we're expecting price to do what it normally does when it breaks the level, the key level. Expect this to happen, break of a key level, expect the retest to happen, and then for price to continue to the downside. But that's not it's not, the rule is not set on stones, because sometimes that may just happen and then price keeps going up to the upside. But the trick is to ensure that if you entered at this point, ensure that your stop loss is somewhere around here, so you're protected should price decide to act the fool and keep going up. You're protected, you don't lose your account. But if it does do what it's supposed to do, then you're winning, but then your risk to reward is really high. You risk less and you win more. So for this one, we're expecting what is happening now to be a pullback. Yep, so expect that pullback to just keep going based on what the dollar is doing as well. So if it comes in, you could put yourself, okay, you could put I know Didi is on the call as well. Welcome on board, Didi, as well. It's good to have you on the call. You could put a sell limit somewhere around here and wait for price to come back and pick you, and then enter you into the trade. For your stop loss, where your stop loss would be. It would be somewhere around here, because that's your previous high. So maybe that, so, but then you have a chance of winning this. So it means, look at your risk to reward would be your trade you entered at this point, risking 45 pips or 46 pips to win how many? To win 100, almost 200, 196. That's more than 1, 2, 3 risk to reward, which is really good. Same thing with AUD USD. As you can see clearly, this is just beautiful. See, this really gives us this rule. Remember that rule, this one here. Where is it now? I think I lost it. Is it this one or this one? No, is it this one? Let's see. Okay, I don't have that. I think it was this one. No, it wasn't. Anyway, whichever one it was. Remember that when price breaks out of the range, what it normally does when it breaks out of the range, I can't find it. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. If it breaks out of a range rule, this is the same thing that we are seeing here. Price broke out of that range, so we expect price to go back and retest where it broke out of, and then continue to the downside. And that's a confirmation to the fact that the dollar is rising. And every one of these other pairs, they are controlled by the dollar as well, except if the what's it called now, the Aussie dollar is having some rising potential as well. Then we would continue to see this jumping, but I wouldn't really expect this to keep going up. I'm really expecting this to keep coming down because of that range broke out of it, then came back and retested it like we expected. So now I want this to keep coming down. Remember, the TP would be the difference between that and that. Probably your number one TP, first TP. So probably TP around somewhere around here for your maybe 1-to-1 risk to reward, or 1-to-2, or whichever you can identify or locate. So that's that one. So every one of these pairs, AUD, Aussie dollar, NZD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, all the outlook is are all bearish, so just be on the lookout for those ones. GBP AUD, same with Euro AUD as well. They both have the same kind of feel right now. Again, entered from the top, so whatever happens on the downside is not really, if it pulls back, doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't come back to kick you out of the trade. But look at what is happening here. Same thing we saw on the Euro AUD. Trend line break, first confirmation trend line break, and then head and shoulder. You can see that shoulder, left shoulder, see the head and see the right shoulder. So now what can you see clearly? Price is coming down, broke out of this this key structure level, retested it, although it did something similar here. Did something similar, but I don't expect this to happen again. This was a fake out. I think this might be a good one, because if you look at this, look at what happened. Giant move to the downside and giant move to the upside, and then kept going up. But look at this, giant move to the downside, then yeah, kind of a good move to the upside, but it started slowing down, and then you saw a rejection here. So that's just to tell you that this is definitely the upside is it exhaustion they call it. There's just no much steam, to keep pushing it to the upside. See another rejection, and then all of this is just telling us that this is doomed to go down. I don't want to mention the word hell. It's just doomed to go down. So we're just expecting it to just keep coming down. So if you're trading this, you entered from this point, just hold your pair, your trade down, can TP here, wait till it breaks. But this is your final TP, somewhere around here. Based on that measurement from the top here to the neckline here, that's your TP. Yeah, but then £2 is £2, $2, $3, $4 is still money compared to minus £20. So if you feel led to take $20 out of your trade, secure your bag, $20 or $10, just take it and go. No need to keep it and let the trade go against you, because again, nobody has the what's it called now, the knowledge of what price is going to do. Yeah, that's true. We can make all of this analysis, do all of this analysis. At the end of the day, price comes in and then it does the direct opposite, like what happened to USD CAD. I don't know how many of us were trading USD CAD at one point, I think a couple of months back. Everywhere in the world, we're all looking at your USD CAD head and shoulder. Some reason it just, did something entirely different. So many people lost money. So those things happen. So you don't put all of your eggs in one basket, all your trust in the market that it's going to do what it's going to do. That's why you use proper risk management, and then probably take profit when you can, and don't over trade. Now, AUD/JPY, because we're looking at, expecting Aussie dollar to come down, probably that may be too much to ask, because it's crazy for me to expect Aussie dollar to come down, expect Aussie/JPY to go up, keep going up. Why? Because Aussie and Aussie is the same thing. If Aussie is strong, it's going to be strong across board, unless the quote currency is equally how can I put it now? Okay, let me see if I can explain this without confusing you guys. So let's say I have let's see AUD/JPY. So let's say I have AUD/JPY. Let's say I have this is strong, then it means that across board is going to be strong. But if this is stronger in terms of maybe the fall of this is equally stronger than the rise of this, then it means across board this pair is going to drop. So let's say the Japanese, the yen is really, really falling, and the intensity of the fall or the impact of the fall is really huge. It means every pair, the GBP/JPY, GBP/JPY is going to keep falling. AUD/JPY is going to keep falling. But if this guy is strong enough, has a higher strength than this guy, then it's going to keep rising. So I'm expecting this guy to keep rising, because I want my euro odd to keep falling. I'm just praying and hoping that happens. But one of the reasons why I'm expecting that to happen is because of this move right here. If you look at this mace, this looks like an inverse head and shoulder. Yep, it looks like an inverse head and shoulder. Yep, that's that level, and then that is that one. And then if you look at what just happened right now, price broke out of that neckline. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting that retest to happen, and then price will jump back to the upside. So this is the inverse head and shoulder retest. Again, remember it broke out of this triangle. So maybe price is probably going to go back to retest that triangle it broke out from to continue to the downside. But whatever be the case, although I'm not trading this pair because there's so much uncertainty in this, so I won't trade this guy. I won't trade this guy. Where is it now? AUD, USD. Do I have it here? Yes, I won't trade these two guys. So much uncertainty in them. So, but I'm going to maintain the other one that I'm trading. What else? I think that should bring me to the end of this outlook. I don't want to look at too many pairs, so I don't make this too long. But if you have any other one that you want me to look at, you can send it to the platform, then I'll give it a look at. But I'm going to send out, nothing has changed, so I won't really be posting new charts, except there are changes in the markets. Then I'll be posting them. So if you have anyone you want me to look at, please just let me know, and then I'll draw it out and look at it. So this is the end of this session. I'm going to end the session and then take questions. Thank you very much, guys. See you on the other side.